Is the American dream still alive in rural America? Interesting question. I would say the American dream is rural America. You watch. All right, guys, just a little bit of odds and ends going on today. New battery, Case International 685. You guys remember I had charging issues. Oh, that's heavy. Whatever those issues were, I think playing around with that charging light has solved the issue. I think it's charging. It would have had to been, because all I did was put a good battery in and do a little bit of fiddling around with the wires, and it's held. I mean, it's the battery has started the tractor every time and ran the foam marker. So I'm going to put this brand new battery in, and this is not a Case International battery. I'm a little upset. Let me tell you a story here. So I called one of my Case IH dealers that I deal with, and I think I'm done dealing with them. I ordered a battery, told them on the phone what I needed, and they sent me one that wouldn't fit. The posts have to be right and left here, depending on which side your positive is on and the negative. It doesn't work to flip it because of the way this metal bracket is. It was hitting the... Long story short, it was hitting the posts, the metal bracket. So no good. I sent it back. Why try to modify something when you can get the right thing? And I ordered a battery hoping it would be a Case IH battery or an X-Side or something half decent. This is a Power Fast. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, the first battery, I had to send it back. They sent me this battery. Then like a month later, I get the invoice and they're charging me for both batteries. So this is just a regular problem with the billing department there. Just constantly. I have a tax exemption with the farm, and every once in a while on my bill they charge me tax. Sometimes they don't charge me tax. Charged me for 2 batteries when I only got one. One was an exchange. And in the end, I get a crappy, no-name, off-brand battery, and I wanted to get a name brand, a good battery, either an Interstate or a Case IH or an X-Side. I would have even settled for a Deca, but we're putting a Power Fast in the tractor, I guess. So it gets to the point where you just have to cut your losses and say, look, the service has sucked. I'm going to somebody else. So in Pennsylvania, you have the luxury of doing that because there are farm equipment dealerships on every street corner, the way it seems. So why deal with ones that just drive you nuts? Anyway, I'm going to put this battery in and stop talking here. All right, yes, I am working in the dark again. It's a dark, rainy day here again. We've got it installed. It is from 2018. I know it's a no-name brand. It is what it is, but it's in. We got it clamped. I told them I needed one with the posts in the center. Just also because of how the cables are. I don't want the posts on this end because then it's too close to this piece of metal. And I didn't want them close to this end because then it's too close to the metal here that holds the battery. I'm not big on bungeeing them down if this bracket is good. So it is in. I do have one of these quick disconnects. I put that on all my equipment. So you may be asking yourself why I'm putting a new battery in when I think it's charging and this battery was working. This battery is good, but it leaks. It leaks battery acid. Terrible. All down the side. And I'm not a fan of battery acid all over my equipment. I did clean this bottom pan. I cleaned it down real well and sprayed it with rust metal primer to keep it in good shape. So I have to work to get this ground on a little bit better, but we're going to test this out and see how it works. So yeah, just another fiasco, another issue dealing with parts. I had the same trouble with the spin-on fuel filters. They sent me the canisters for like the glass on a 574, even though I told them I needed the spin-ons. Hey, if it happens once, okay, fix it, no problem. If it happens twice, okay, fix it, no problem. Happens 3 times, all right, this is starting to get annoying. Happens 4 times, 5 times, then it's an indication as to how things are run. And if it happens 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, then it's my fault. I become the dummy for continuing to do stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not here. I'm not going to use YouTube to throw anybody under the bus. But just as a real life thing, showing what you deal with parts departments. I know all about it. I've dealt with them for 10 years. So it takes a lot to get me angry. It takes a lot to get me mad. I don't usually get mad. I just don't deal with certain places, certain people. I just avoid it. So anyway, I'm going to start this up and see if it's charging. All right, so the 685 is good to go. That was a nagging problem that is solved. We got a new battery in that's not going to leak acid all over, and we are charging. So next thing I want to look at, get some new knives to replace any of them that are bad on here. Shouldn't take me too long. There's only a couple. All right, so under the Haybine here working, everything under here wants to poke you, stick you, cut you. Anyway, I had said in videos past, I think it was one of my earlier videos, changing knives on here. You don't have to take the guards off, but some places you do have to take the hold down off to get them out. You can see that knife. Which one are we at here? So these are the serrated ones. You can't sharpen these. I know some guys try to. When I bought this mower, it came with a ton of new knives, so I'm just replacing them. I'll still keep the old ones in case I need a spare, but these are cheap, so we're going to change them. All right, so I replaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 teeth. You can see they're... Some of them are getting wore, some of them aren't as bad, but I figured since I'm under there and I have the new teeth, put them on. There's these edges here aren't sharp anymore. They're kind of rounded over. Some of them have nicks taken out of them, so we're pretty good now. We've got a pretty good set of teeth on here, knives to cut. So I am out of guards. I should pick up a few guards for this. It did come with about 5 or 6. I did use them. The one rocky field I have was very hard on knives and guards last year. This year we had better luck because this winter I went out on one of the days when I was bored and I picked rocks. Winter time is the best in a hayfield because you can see everything, and I picked a lot of them. So I didn't have near the amount of bent or twisted or broken knives that I had last year. So I had a little short project here. No need to film it. You guys probably know how to do this. So all right, that project is done. On to the next thing. All right, so the next thing I want to do is check the oil in these gearboxes. On a 489 Haybine, you have 3 different gearboxes, and it's this is the weak link with the 489s. Not so much this gearbox. I have seen this one break, this one here, but not as often as the wobble box in there. That is the culprit and why these Haybines got a bad reputation. And I'm not afraid of this one because, like I said, when I bought it, that was a brand new wobble box. It has a CNH reman on it. It's been working okay. And one of the reasons why I think I was able to get it cheap is because a lot of guys know the reputation of these machines and they tend to stay away from them. So that's fine. It's like that with the equipment. You can get it a little bit cheaper then. If you know what to look for and you know what to do to keep them running. So anyway, let's just crack this one open. It's been a long time since I checked these. I'm guilty of not really, that one's good, not really checking gearboxes like I should be. But that one has gear oil in. One of these leaks, there's a seal out on one of them. I'm not exactly sure, and it's not a, you can see it's oily in the bottom there, but it's not a huge, I think it's been leaking for a long time. It was like that when I got it, but it's probably, if I had to guess, the seal, this seal usually goes bad. And I think that's what it is. So I'm not going to worry about it. well, I am a mechanic and I do get fussy from time to time. I don't worry about certain things, like most farmers, I'd say. Check this gearbox. This one should be good. I think I added some to this last year. Let's just see here. Yep, that one's good. And it might not be the seal. It could, if it's hot and you're running it and it's been running for hours, these breathers here, see these little breather caps? It can push oil out and run down these breathers. I have seen that before. More so on rotary cutters. Rotary cutter gearboxes have those breather caps. And I did see on more than one rotocutter from running it that it pushes oil out eventually when the oil gets hot. So, okay, those two are good. This joint here, it's kind of a connector joint. These bolts can come loose sometimes. That looks all right. And then the same over here for your roller drive. Everything looks good there. Make sure that is still connected good and no play in that. The wobble box oil gearbox is a little bit tougher to access here. I might even need a socket if I can't do it this way. Sometimes a square socket with an extension is the way to go versus an adjustable. And I don't have any square sockets down in the shop here. I keep... Alright, I'll have to get one. I keep very little tools in my shop. Most of them are locked away. So, alright, just some general maintenance on the back here. So you get the idea, you get that plug out, check to see what the oil looks like. The biggest thing, I'm going to put the camera in there and show you. There's a chain in there and a plastic idler. The plastic idler does not turn. It pretty well stays in position, and the chain goes over the plastic as like a tensioner. It is the tensioner for the chain that goes off the wobble box that drives, and that chain tears because that plastic idler goes bad. It gets wore, it gets too much slop in it, and that's what destroys these wobble boxes. Let me wipe it off. I'll show you right where it is. So you see that plastic idler, you got to make sure that this chain stays tight. And you basically, doesn't do you any good to just keep it in the same place all the time, because it cuts a terrible groove in that plastic over time. Your best bet is to loosen it up and rotate it to a new spot and then tighten it. So it is a constant thing to keep checking, but if you do that and keep that chain in good condition, you shouldn't have trouble. At least I don't think so. I haven't had any trouble. Alright, so the other thing I've been meaning to do is get a seatbelt on the 685 here. I am on the hills with this tractor. This seatbelt was free. This lap belt came off of the seat from the 395. I don't see any reason to have it on the 395 at this point because I'm not on the hard hills with it. So I had changed seats. This was still on the old seat, so I have it. So we're going to put it on here. I'm fastening it kind of to the frame down here just to give peace of mind. Anytime I hauled something or anything on my trailer, I had it tied down in all four corners, and then you had the peace of mind strap, the extra one that you just put on for no reason other than it's just peace of mind. That's what I'm going to refer to this as. At least I'm buckled in. If it does roll, the roll bar will do its job, and I will stay in the tractor. I love having it in the 986, and when I get on the hard hills, I clip it on, and I feel a lot safer. So let's get it on the 685. Alright, seatbelt's on. I am pretty well strapped to the seat. I don't think I can fall out. So that's what I came up with. Pretty solid. Tell you, if I do roll it, that's going to be a strain on the guts for sure, but could be a lot worse. Could be pinned under the tractor, so I'll take a shot to the stomach versus laying under the tractor any day. Alright, I guess that's where I'll end it. I'm still working on some odds and ends. I'll take videos, but today's video is long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll have more to come.